Warning, there will be spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home in this video. If you don't want to be spoiled, then we suggest clicking off the video. With the recent release of Spider-Man No Way Home, we think this will be an appropriate time to rank every Spider-Man movie from worst to best. Remember, this list is just our opinion and we'll be ranking these films based on storytelling, visual effects and acting. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to click subscribe with the notification bell turned on. Also, leave a like if you enjoy it. Anyways, without further ado, let's go. Coming in at number 9, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This shouldn't come as a surprise to many viewers that this film ranks at the bottom of the list. One of the main reasons The Amazing Spider-Man 2 failed was because there was too much going on. The film attempts on creating and ending two main villains, as well as tying it in with Peter's parents, as well as Peter and Gwen's relationship. This movie also sets up for a Sinister Six movie which didn't even end up happening. Although we somewhat enjoyed the performance of Electro, both Electro and Green Goblin had a very similar story. Both villains ended up going insane and hating Spider-Man, which is a pretty repetitive villain downhaul. Although there were many negatives, there were some positives, such as the acting portrayed by Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, as well as Electro. Unfortunately, however, the bad outweighed the good in this one. Coming in at number 8, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. Being the first MCU movie after Endgame, Far From Home didn't really meet up to our expectations. Peter Parker joins his friends on a vacation in Europe, taking a break from being Spider-Man. However, things take a turn for the worse when Nick Fury recruits Peter to uncover the mysteries of creature attacks. The only standout moment in the movie was when Mysterio was revealed as a main antagonist and when Mysterio revealed Peter's identity at the end. Also, it focused too much on the personal aspect of Peter Parker's love and school life, but not enough on Spider-Man and his villains until the second half. Other than those few disappointments, the movie wasn't a complete failure, and we were interested in Peter trying to impress Mary Jane. However, as a Spider-Man movie, this really wasn't a standout, and didn't meet up to the standards of the others. Coming in at number 7, we have The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, we wouldn't call The Amazing Spider-Man a terrible movie, but it was rebooted in a way that we weren't really used to. For one, Andrew Garfield plays a somewhat cooler version of Peter Parker, different to the more quiet Tobey Maguire we're used to. Although we enjoyed the character of Dr. Kirk Connors, we feel as though the lizard didn't pose a serious threat to the city as much as past villains did. We were also pretty upset that The Amazing Spider-Man revisited many of the exact same plot points from the original Spider-Man, meaning Mark Webb's reboot didn't stand out that much. There were many pros to this movie however, including the chemistry between Peter and Gwen, Peter's transition into a superhero, and Dr. Kirk Connors' dark transition into a villain. Overall, The Amazing Spider-Man was an alright movie, but would never made up to the expectations of Sam Raimi's films. Coming in at number 6, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. This film rebooted Spider-Man once more, this time being played by Tom Holland. The plot of this film was pretty simple, but didn't take the time to focus on Peter getting bitten by the spider, nor Uncle Ben's death. Another negative comes from the whole character of Liz. What was the whole point of Liz if Peter was going to end up with MJ? Small nitpicks aside, we enjoyed Vulture as the villain as he was menacing and played someone who we could sympathise for. We also liked how they made the conflict of the story simple instead of a confusing one. This film was light-hearted, comedic, and the movie was a delight for many viewers, but due to the issues and minor nitpicks, it's only 6 on our list. Coming in at number 5, we have Spider-Man 3, The Birth of Bully Maguire. Now, Spider-Man 3 is hated in the community for being overclouded and cringy, and while parts of it may be true, this movie isn't all that bad. This movie is a debut of Venom and a great way to transition Peter into a revengeful and dark person. This movie also tells a great story with Sandman and his daughter, and it's one of the more emotional aspects of the film. We see everything fall apart for Peter as he turns full of pride and anger, and we see Peter forgive himself thanks to the help of Aunt May. There are many greats in this movie, but unfortunately it's overclouded with villains, storytelling, and Little Goblin Jr.
Wanna cry?
Coming in at number 4, we have Spider-Man 1. This is the very first Spider-Man movie ever, and it's actually a pretty good one. It features a brilliant acting of Tobey Maguire, James Franco, and who can forget Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. This film isn't overly cluttered with an extreme number of villains, but it is an equal balance of Spider-Man's life, Peter's home life, and love life. However, as the very first Spider-Man movie, there was nothing overly special about it, and the quality obviously doesn't hold up to the standard we have today. Nevertheless, it was a great film for its time, and still a great movie today. Coming in at number 3, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the latest Spider-Man film and it's our favourite out of Tom Holland's trilogy. It does a great job of bringing back the old Spider-Mans Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, but also keeping the majority of the focus on Tom Holland. We think it was a great idea killing off Aunt May, as Tom Holland finally realises that great power comes with great responsibility. At the end of the film, Tom Holland takes the biggest sacrifice out of all the Spider-Mans in fact, and erases the world's memory of himself. Some of the jokes are pretty forced throughout, and some villains got more backstory than others, but we really enjoyed this film nevertheless. Coming in at number 2, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is definitely the most unique Spider-Man movie out there due to its animated style and overall different approach. This was the first Spider-Man movie to feature the multiverse, introducing characters of the likes of Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, and Penny Parker. Into the Spider-Verse follows Miles Morales, who develops mysterious powers after getting bit by a spider. He meets Peter Parker and realises that there are many other Spider-Mans in the multiverse. We enjoy this film due to its visual storytelling and how inventive and vibrant it is. It was a fresh and overall great take on Spider-Man, but there is another film that we enjoy even more. That's right, coming in at number 1 and our favourite Spider-Man film, we have Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is nothing short of a masterpiece due to its stellar characterization and a human story. Peter Parker struggles with balancing out Spider-Man with his own life, so he decides to quit being Spider-Man. For once, Peter is happy in his life, but what he failed to realize before is that people need Spider-Man. We find it touching how Peter gives Doc Ock the same lesson Aunt May gave Peter, as it shows off the wisdom of Aunt May. Although the film was very human, there were some brilliant fight scenes, such as the train fight and the final battle. We could be here all day talking about how Spider-Man 2 is our favourite Spider-Man movie, but we don't have all day, so to summarise that point, this is a must-see film. Thanks for watching the video. Once again, if you want to see more of these videos, click the subscribe button with the notification bell turned on. As some of you might know, we took a bit of a break from YouTube, but we are working on a few videos, so definitely stay tuned. Anyways, have a great day, stay safe, and we will see you in the next video.